As we talked about in the last video, the system we use to achieve organization mastery and thus elevate our productivity must combine all action items into one system in one place. It doesn't matter where they originate from, whether it's email or phone calls or from your head, whatever. It needs to be able to group things by multiple contexts, and it must be available and synchronized wherever we are so that as ideas and tasks come to us, we can easily and immediately capture it. The point is to get it all out of your head, where it has the chance to either root around and haunt us or be forgotten, and be put into a safe place where we can engage it on our terms when the time is right. So, let's talk about contexts. Contexts are a way to group like items. A context is an interrelated condition, and as humans trying to make sense of the world, we are constantly searching for like attributes in order to see connections. How does one thing relate to another? In terms of how to best organize our lives, there are 4 broad context groups that encapsulate the vast majority of our actions. Those groups are who, what, where, and when. Think about it. Whether you're planning a project, going to the store, meeting friends, etc., these 4 context groups are ever present because everything we do is, well, an action and happens in time, at a location, or with others. And grouping our actions together with these contexts has powerful repercussions in a positive way. For most of us, the first and most important categorization is when. Everything happens in time, and a lot of our energy is devoted to prioritizing tasks into the order in which they need to be completed. For us, time is a finite resource, and I would argue our most precious. Thus, putting tasks into their order of importance, categorized by when they need to be worked on or achieved, is essential to managing our lives. We also categorize by people, who is involved, or who is the task for. Maybe you're planning your child's birthday party, or you're managing a project with a team. Organizing by the who context is insightful. Also, many tasks relate to each other by what they are or where they happen. Both are useful. All 4 of the broad contexts need to be broken down into more specific groupings. Let's discuss the when first. For me, I really like the way the folks behind The Secret Weapon, and I'll mention them again later, break down the when context to capture the essence of when something needs to be accomplished. Those subgroupings are now, next, soon, later, and someday. Examples of the who context might be your wife, child, coworker, friends. It can be anyone that participates in tasks or events with you. Examples of the what context are maybe ideas, items like reference material and personal information, projects, hobbies, that type of thing. And where can be broken down into things like home, at work, in town, etc. Now don't worry if you can't quite see how all these things fit together quite yet. It's just important to understand the concept that contexts help us categorize, and there are 4 broad contexts, and that each can be broken down into more specific contexts. Let's look at an example of how these contexts can be applied. Say we have a task, write a patent for a new product. Well, we can apply context to them to help sort them. A when context could be soon. We could apply a what context, patent, and even a where context, where we're going to write it. So let's choose at the library. And then later on, if we get it into Evernote, this task will come up if we sort by any one of these contexts. For instance, if I want to check out what patents I'm involved in, sorting by patents will bring this task up. Or if I'm heading out to the library and I want to see what tasks I need to do while I'm there, I can sort by the where context library. Being able to assign multiple contexts to one task is so powerful because it lets us look at what we need to do from various angles. If we need to know the most important things we need to accomplish, sort by the when context now. So hopefully, you have a pretty good understanding of contexts, what they are, how they work. In the next video, we're going to actually take a look at Evernote, the tool that makes this whole getting things done process possible. And again, don't worry if you can't picture it all right now. All we're working on currently is just laying the foundation for the system. Soon, we'll look at actual examples in Evernote and things will all start to fit together.